Would you ever advise the administration that it could disregard an applicable district court opinion or order because you believe the Supreme Court will ultimately overturn it? Yes or no?
I don't want to speculate, but I can't see a situation where I would advise to not follow a court order.
So your answer is no, you would never advise them to disregard a district court order, even if you thought the Supreme Court would
Again, I don't want to speak.
I just want you to be precise and answer yes or no.
I can't see a time where I would do that. No.
Hello, Patriots. Welcome back to SIGNAL76, the loudest, proudest voice defending the Constitution, liberty, and the American way of life.
The chair, Senator Schiff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to follow up on Senator Kennedy's line of question and ask a similar line of yes or no questions just to put a finer point and make sure that your answers are as definitive as they sounded. So let me start with you, Mr. Edlow. Yes or no? Would you ever advise the administration that it could ignore or disregard an applicable district court order because you believe the Supreme Court will ultimately overturn it?
Senator, as I said before,
yes, just a yes or no question.
I don't believe I'll ever be in that position.
But you may not. But just like you answered Senator Kennedy, I want to make sure that you were not misleading anyone. So let me ask the question again. Would you ever advise the administration that it could disregard an applicable district court opinion or order because you believe the Supreme Court will ultimately overturn it? Yes or no?
I don't want to speculate, but I can't see a situation where I would advise to not follow a court order.
So your answer is no, you would never advise them to disregard a district court order, even if you thought the Supreme Court
Again,
would
I don't want to
overturn
speak. I don't want to speak.
I just want you to be precise and answer yes or no.
I can't see a time where I would do that. No.
Okay. Mr. Geiser, yes or no?
Thank you very much, Senator Schiff. I would advise clients to follow court orders.
Even if you believe the Supreme Court would ultimately overturn the district court?
Well, Senator, as far as
yes or no?
the answer is the same. The president has said he will follow court orders.
The same answer, yes or no?
Senator, the president has said he will follow.
You were able to answer Senator Kennedy, but I want to make sure that you were not misleading Senator Kennedy. Yes or no, would you ever advise the administration it could ignore a district court order because you believed the Supreme Court would ultimately rule otherwise? Yes or no, would you ever advise them that?
Senator, applicable court orders should be followed.
That's not my question. Yes or no?
Senator, you asked me.
Yes or no, Mr. Geiser? It's a simple question.
Senator?
Mr. Geiser, you were able to answer Senator Kennedy. Are you raising a doubt now about your answers to Senator Kennedy because you can't answer this question?
Senator, I would advise clients to follow applicable court orders.
Is that a yes or no?
I would advise clients to follow applicable.
Is that a yes or no? Let me repeat the question so there's no ambiguity about it. Would you ever advise the administration, you're going to be, if you're confirmed, heading the Office of Legal Counsel that helps determine whether actions are lawless or lawful, would you ever advise the administration that it could ignore an applicable district court opinion or order because you believed the Supreme Court would ultimately overturn the order? Yes or no?
Senator, if I'm confirmed to lead the Office of Legal Counsel,
all right.
I would.
You're not answering the question. So I guess the answer is to Senator Kennedy, you just might advise the administration to ignore a district court order. How about you, counsel?
Thank you, Senator Schiff. In my role as director, I am not
asking yes or no.
Well, I would thank you. I wish to clarify. I'm not, if confirmed, a director. I'm not acting in a legal capacity at all. I'm part of the executive agency branch, and therefore would not be advising clients on any aspects of that.
Well, would it be appropriate, in your view, for anyone else among legal counsel to do so?
In general, court orders should be followed and respected. There are situations which I recall back from law school between branches.
I guess you're not able to answer the question either. Counsel, how about you?
Senator Schiff, thank you. I mean, I agree. I don't believe it's appropriate to address this hypothetical. At the Department of Justice.
So you want to revise your answer to Senator Kennedy then? That is, there may be circumstances where you advise the administration to disregard a district court of opinion because you believe the Supreme Court might rule otherwise. Is that your opinion?
As a lawyer, the answer is it depends.
Okay. Thank you. Then we'll make sure Senator Kennedy is aware that you just might, it depends, advise the administration to ignore court orders.
Senator,
let me ask another question. Mr. Geiser, would you agree that it would be unlawful for the president to accept a gift from a foreign state without the consent of Congress? Would you agree that's unlawful?
Well, thank you for that question, Senator.
Yes or no?
Whether something is lawful or not, I would always want to look.
I'm just asking you a simple question. Is it unlawful for the president to accept a gift from a foreign state without the consent of Congress? Very simple question.
Senator, as a lawyer, I would always give my...
I'm not asking you for a preamble, just yes or no.
Well, Senator Schiff, it depends on the fact...
Well, Mr. Geiser, where is the depends on the facts of Article 1, Section 9, Clause 8, which says, no person holding any office shall, without consent of Congress, accept any present from any foreign state? That's the Constitution. Doesn't say, well, it depends, or it might, or maybe. It says, no person shall do so. Do you find that ambiguous?
Senator,
I thought you were supposed to be the strict constructionists. This is what the Constitution says. Is there an exception for $400 million planes from Gulf emirs?
Senator,
is there an exception for that?
On behalf of the chair, Senator Schmidt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I do wonder, though, that whether or not we should set up...
Today, we're exposing a dangerous trend in Washington, a total breakdown of respect for the rule of law, and how this could unravel the freedoms our founders fought and died for. This is bigger than politics. This is about preserving the soul of America. In this explosive Senate hearing, we saw Adam Schiff, yes, that Adam Schiff, grill President Trump's DOJ nominees not to ensure justice, but to push his radical agenda and score political points. And what did these nominees do? They danced. They dodged. They refused to say something every American should know by heart. You don't ignore a court order just because you think you'll win later. That should have been a no-brainer. But the truth is, Schiff wasn't after answers. He was laying a trap, trying to humiliate conservatives and paint Trump's legacy as lawless. But here's the truth they won't tell you. This is all part of the left's coordinated effort to delegitimize any voice that stands up to their tyranny. Patriots, this isn't just about one hearing or a couple of weak-kneed lawyers. This is a pattern. They want to redefine what's legal based on their emotions and their feelings. They're willing to bend the Constitution if it gets them closer to total control. Let me be clear. We are the party of law and order. We don't ignore court orders. We fight them the right way, in court, in Congress, and in the ballot box. But what do Democrats do? They ignore laws they don't like. They open the borders, they weaponize the DOJ, and now they want to normalize ignoring court orders. Think about that. And when Schiff brings up the Emoluments Clause, acting like he's suddenly a constitutional scholar, it's laughable. The same guy who peddled the Russia hoax for 4 years now pretends to care about the Constitution? Give me a break. But here's what's really scary. These nominees couldn't even say it was unlawful for a president to accept a gift from a foreign state without Congress. That's literally in the Constitution, plain as day. Yet they dodged. Why? Because they're scared of the political backlash if they tell the truth. And that should send chills down your spine. This is why we can't afford to sit back. The left is playing for keeps. They're embedding loyalists in every branch of government. They're redefining lawfulness to fit their narrative. And they're daring us to push back. But push back we will. Patriots, now more than ever, we need to unite, speak up, and defend our values. Truth, law, order, and freedom. Not just at the ballot box, but in school boards, city councils, and yes, online. That's why SIGNAL76 exists, to wake up Americans and bring you the truth that the media hides. So before we go any further, hit that like button to destroy the algorithm's censorship, subscribe to stay in the fight, and drop a comment below. Do you think any government official should ever advise ignoring a court order? Share this video far and wide, because they want to keep this buried. They want you silent. But we are the signal, and we will not be silenced. Stay fired up, stay focused, and most importantly, stay free. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.